All right.
Okay. So let me properly introduce you. And I'm going to butcher your name. So Maria Rabaino, is that how you say it?
You're like the closest. Yeah, Rabaino. Yeah.
Hey, it's a good
Not a lot of
day.
people get it first try.
Yes. Well, so I'm so lucky to have you on with me for Level Up. And I just appreciate you taking the time. We talk about different stuff on Level Up all the time, really relating to the shift that we've had most recently,
Yes.
as far as the global pandemic and people going home and working from home and trying to still stay, in the economy and
Yeah.
employed and all of that. And I was on Instagram, I think the other day, and I saw your group and how much you're doing, and I saw your TikToks. So, P.S. I'm a fan.
Yes.
So Maria is part of Rolettes LA.
Yeah.
And how many members are in your group?
We have 6 full-time team members, and then we
Uh-huh.
have like 2 additional like mentors that we kind of have like under our wing. So like 8 full members, but yeah.
Awesome. And so you are a dancer.
Yeah.
And so I love my dancers. I love my choreographers. And we also talk to people who are into fitness. And you sent me a photo of, well, I've seen you do dance moves
Yes.
and all of that, but I was like, and she's into fitness. So you are kind of like my double,
Yes.
my double stuffed Oreo today.
I like it.
So you're going to help me just kind of navigate your process in staying connected online and just give kind of maybe a little bit insight into how your group formed, what it's about, and maybe what your favorite style of dance is, all of that good stuff, because I want you to tell your story.
Of course. So I was injured in a drinking and driving related car crash back in 2012. And when I got injured, the hospital told me about this reality show that was coming out called Push Girls. And so my family was like, so happy. I get injured, and all of a sudden there's a show coming out about women who are dealing with the same thing I'm dealing with. So we were looking things up. One thing led to another, and my parents found Chelsea Hill's dad on Facebook, and they sent him a message. He responded, called my dad. Chelsea called me, and she called, and they drove up from Monterey to Sacramento, which is about like a 3.5 hour drive, depending on traffic. And they came up and met me. They got to know me a little bit. And a couple weeks later, Chelsea called me and asked if I wanted to join this little dance camp. It was going to be just like a 1 week kind of thing, one time thing as well in her hometown, a little performance at the end. And I wanted to be surrounded by other women in chairs because I knew how important that is to kind of become independent. My gut just told me to go to this thing and, really learn from these women. And I went to that event, and it blew up, and it kind of went from a one-time thing to what the world knows and loves as the Rolettes today. And it's been an amazing journey ever since. I gained my independence very quickly. Within that first year, I was already moved out of my parents' house, driving again, getting dressed by myself, showering. Everything that I had to relearn, I was able to do all by myself by that first year. Moving into like the fitness side of that, because I was so focused on my independence though, and the team was still kind of new, I didn't know what to do with myself once I did gain my independence. I would go to a performance with the team like once every couple of months. But if I wasn't performing with the girls, I was at home. And I would just kind of go to work, come home, pick up McDonald's on the way, sit on the couch, watch TV, repeat and repeat and repeat. And it was just this horrible cycle.
There's nothing wrong with McDonald's. I want you to know.
I love some McDonald's. I still stop by every now and then.
I'm mad because they stopped serving some chicken tenders, but whatever. The pandemic has hit me really hard. But I digress.
Yes, every now and then it's totally fine, but I was doing it every day, and that's when it became a problem. And I was dealing with depression, and I just wasn't my happy self. I eventually realized that I was happiest when I was with the girls, when we were being active, when we were dancing and doing a lot of fun things. So I wanted to become a happier version of myself. And that happier version was doing more active stuff, becoming a little bit more active in my life. And I started working out.
Yeah.
For me, it was a totally different journey because I have leg function, even though I'm a full-time wheelchair user. And I was looking for workouts that I could use to strengthen my legs and maybe even
Mm-hmm.
out the strength between my right and left leg because my right leg
Mm-hmm.
is much weaker.
Oh.
When I started, I would look at adaptive workouts. And when I looked up adaptive workouts, I'd find somebody just sitting in a chair doing bicep curls,
Mm-hmm.
which, is great, but there's so much more to me than biceps. And then if I looked up workouts by people who weren't disabled, that weren't really adapting workouts, it was all these things that I could not do. They were like running and like jumping over park benches, and I couldn't figure out where the middle was and what would work for me. One day,
Mm-hmm.
my friend was like, "Why don't you just try squats while holding on to something? Use as much of your legs, but you have the bench for balance." And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, why don't I try that?" I was kind of annoyed I didn't come up with that myself.
It's always the
Yeah,
small, like the
yeah,
simplest of
yeah,
ideas.
yes,
If somebody else says it, it's kind
yes,
of like, yeah,
yeah. Why
yeah.
don't I try that?
Mm-hmm.
It was the most terrifying thing. I was sure I was gonna fall. My husband had to be like right near me. He was spotting me so I wouldn't fall. And but it ignited a fire in me. I couldn't do a full squat, but it was enough for me to be like, oh hey, if I keep doing this, I could get better at it, and this could
Yeah.
help. Um, and then I started recording my workouts because I knew if I was struggling, other people were struggling as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of when I realized that my passion was to make health and fitness more accessible. So that way it wasn't difficult for people to live healthier and happier lives.
Right.
So it's been a balance between, my passion of making health and fitness more accessible and then my other passion of dancing with the girls, which, by the way, my favorite type of dance is definitely hip hop. It's so much fun. Um, but at like just spending time with the girls, and it's so much more than dance for us. It's all about empowering other women with disabilities to be just the best versions of themselves.
Yeah, well, you definitely are inspiring for me. I had a baby 7 months ago, and I'm just now starting back to get,
Yes,
more healthy. As you can see, I'm still at the McDonald's, but
it
but
happens.
hey, but I think that it's good for people to understand that that it's not just people who have capability to walk who are working out. That there need to be more
Mhm.
accessible workouts that are, and it's just like in dance where you have your beginning, intermediate. I shouldn't say it's just like dance. I should
Yeah,
say there are levels in dance where
yeah,
you modify for those
yes.
who are beginners, and the modification for adapting a really strenuous workout needs to be more accessible for people around the globe. And so the internet bringing it to the shift, how have you, like, I know that I saw your stuff on TikTok and there's a
Yeah.
lot of funny stuff. You guys
Yeah.
are really funny. You guys
We
have
have a
some
good sense of humor.
good sense of humor. And I got sucked into the TikTok world.
Oh, so did I.
It's kind of like when you feel like you're going down the rabbit hole of YouTube. It's
Yes,
like a worse rabbit hole than
yes,
YouTube,
yes.
because it's shorter, so you're like, but where do you guys get your inspiration for what you guys are putting out there online? Because I know that
Yes.
you're not. I mean, we're all at home, so you can't always meet up, and I don't know how you're safe distancing,
Yeah.
how that works out, but
Yeah.
you know if you could elaborate on where your inspiration for those videos are coming from.
Yeah. So our mission has always been to empower other women with disabilities to live boundlessly and just shift perspective through dance. But so in order to do that, we had to get creative. I believe that disabled people are the best problem solvers. We are used to adapting to the world in general, that anytime a bad thing gets thrown our way, we're able to kind of like process it and then immediately like find the solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And also disabled people are kind of used to being isolated. A lot of people, don't leave the home maybe because they don't have the correct medical equipment to make them feel safe or make them feel
Mm-hmm.
comfortable leaving the house. So for us, being isolated is something that we're used to, and staying at home is something that we're used to. And we decided that we needed to use the power of social media in order to stay connected with everybody during this very interesting year, um,
Mm-hmm.
to say the least.
To say the
And we've done a variety of things as a team. We've done dance classes, we've done virtual girls girls hangout nights on Zoom. We had a fitness challenge on our Instagram account that I got the pleasure of hosting. You know, we just kept on coming up with so many different things to keep everybody connected and keep everybody strong and powerful. And it's been, you know, really incredible to see everybody we're more connected now than we've ever been before.
Which is crazy because I
Yeah,
feel like people have to work a little harder, right,
yeah,
than what we used to be doing. And it
yes,
also highlights who you really care about. You know, like, am I staying in touch with, you know, XYZ person because
yeah,
I really miss them, you know, versus,
yes.
you know, some of the others. So you just kind of, oh, I'll see them when I see them, you know.
Yeah, I've called so many more people that I haven't talked to in a while because of everything going on. So it's been really special to just kind of reconnect with a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, so where can I always ask people, where exactly do the Rolettes live? Like, what is your main social media presence? Is it Instagram, or are you on YouTube, or which one should people try to find you guys at, or gal
Mostly
at?
Instagram and TikTok,
Okay.
but we do have YouTube videos come out every now and then as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so you said you had some classes as well. So are you doing on demand, or are you like pulling footage from previous classes, or how are you working that
We
part?
are doing them live through Zoom.
Okay.
So we, you know, the girls pay maybe like $5, and that's just to kind of cover the expense of expanding the Zoom for like more than just 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of do a little Zoom hangout and teach the class. I do a Disney dance class for all the kids. I dress up as Ariel from The Little Mermaid and dance
Oh,
with them and teach them a little routine, and it's so much fun. Really, a lot of things that we've been doing has been through Zoom, just to kind of stay connected, so we can see their faces, they can see our faces, ask us questions, and you know, just really have that little bonding time.
that is awesome. I love The Little Mermaid. So,
Thank you.
so you got
Thank
me
you.
there. And I have two little kids. So I have a 7-month-old and a 3-year-old, and so that is on loop for sure.
Yes.
Well, so what is your vision? Because I know that, you know, I always ask people, where do you think this whole thing's going? You know, like, are we gonna stay in the online space? Are we gonna hybrid it like some people are doing? Are we just gonna fully go back to studios when it comes open? Or like, how do you, what is your crystal ball?
I want some sort of hybrid version. Like, there are so many aspects that have become normalized during quarantine that I really love. Like, me and my best friends, we always try to have movie nights, but when we're in person, we just constantly talk each other's ear off, that by the time we think about starting the movie, it's much too late for us. So
Yeah.
now we've had kind of like virtual movie nights where we're in the comfort of our own homes. We're not chatting each other's ear offs, and we actually have seen more movies now than we have like in the past. Um,
Right.
so
Well,
for
and they're doing the new releases
yeah,
online, so you don't even have
exactly.
to go to the theater if you didn't want
Yeah.
to. So yeah.
So there's, you know, there's a lot of, you know, little things that I have loved about quarantine that I would love to just bring back once things kind of are safe again, once things do start opening up again. I love hugging people. I love being with people in person. But I also understand that sometimes getting places is a little bit difficult, especially for the disabled community. And so to have kind of a hybrid version where people can connect virtually online and then maybe also attend the event and see people is, you know, really would be amazing and ideal. And I would love to see that.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you,
Thank
and I
you.
will definitely link or tag you guys so that everybody can find this interview. But you are doing amazing things, and I know that
Thank you.
you know, for me, I always try to look for people who are completely blowing it away, you know, because I don't do
Yes.
what you do, and you know, I don't think you do what I do, but you know, you're out there killing it on the workout scene, and I
Thank
envy
you.
that. So
Thank you.
so I just want you to know that you know, when people see what you're doing, you inspire everyone, not just
Thank you.
people who are looking for what you're providing, but people like me too. So you're welcome, and you're beautiful.
Thank you again.
I'm just looking at this haircut thing that you got going on over
Yeah.
here, and I'm like, I need to do something because you that quarantine hair for me on my ends are
Oh,
just not
my
happening.
my husband's been watching YouTube videos on like how to like shave the sides for me, trim this, like
Yes.
oh, it was getting way too long. I could not handle it anymore. So
Well, and it's summer, so
yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Now it's yeah.
Well, have a good one, and I
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye.